Good morning, everyone, and we have the Correctly team. I'm Denise, I'm the specialist.
Hi, I'm Salawat. I'm doing masters in applied computing.
I'm Nishant. I'm also a master student in applied computing.
So I'm a French teacher, and when I'm teaching my students to learn a new language, it's really hard for them to get instant feedbacks in terms of the pronunciation aspect. So in order to learn a new language, we need to develop 4 skills: the reading, writing, listening, and oral communication. Now, why we're focusing on the oral communication or the pronunciation? Because the Common European Framework, which is the framework that we're using now in our schools, underlines doing things with language rather than just learning about language. So we're now moving far from just translation and grammar rules into communicating the messages effectively. So this is why pronunciation is really important. The second reason that it's really hard to receive immediate feedbacks for the pronunciation aspect. And for the last one, the French language uses almost identical alphabet to that of English. So we usually assume the pronunciation of French words are based on the pronunciation of the English words. And this is why it's really hard for the students when they're reading, to pronounce the words in French correctly. So this is why we develop Correctly. Correctly is an app to help French immersion and core French students to focus on the speaking aspect when acquiring French language, and this will make the students more confident, engaged, and motivated. So we're moving now to my classroom. Bonjour, ça va? Comment ça va?
Bonjour Nice, ça va bien, merci. Et toi?
Ça va bien. Wow, what happened? Your pronunciation is really good. What did you do?
Thank you, Denise. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I downloaded this app named Correctly, and I've been playing it with it around. And so you can actually learn new words in French. For example, there's a bonjour, you can pronounce it.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. So it gives me 71% of confidence that it was a good job. I'm always struggling with this word feel.
Fille.
Fee. Oh, this one was good. Finally.
Aimer.
Amy. Oh, again with this. Okay, next one, Chante.
Chanter.
Chante. So we can see the progress I'm learning.
Chanson.
Chanson.
Wow, I really like that app. So now it shows that you have 6 new words, you learn 4 words, and you have more to go. That's
Yes.
really nice. So from an educational perspective, language learners should be giving time to acquire the meaning and pronunciation of individual words. So just saying the long words at their own pace. Nishan, can you explain what happened?
Yeah, actually, it looks magical, like how we detected like which word was spoken right and what's the confidence is. Like those are cryptic messages right now, but I'll try to explain what happened at the back. So we recorded the user's voice, send it to the Google Speech Recognition API, which is like a new API they've come up with. And Google tries to recognize what the word was spoken and tries to provide a confidence score, saying like how confident it was in saying that this was the word which said it was. So it returns a transcript and a confidence score, and we use that to analyze if the word was spoken correctly or not. Now, Venice did her research and found like an average of 65%, a confidence score of 0.65 or 65% correct is a good score to proceed with the words. So we took that as a baseline, and then we detect like if the word is spoken correctly or not.
But my problem now, Salavat, is that you are learning just individual word. What about the context? What about reading the words more frequently?
Yes, so after learning words, I can actually go to the sentences and try sentences.
Bonjour, voici le magasin.
So I can even pronounce every word separately.
Bonjour, voici
To know.
le magasin.
Yes.
Bonjour, voici le magasin.
Bonjour. Voici le magasin. Yes, I like it.
So Studies suggest that most learners need between 5 and 16 meetings with a word in order to retain it, and the context as well. So with sentences, we're providing the context and more meetings in order to retain the new learned words. So Nisha, can you please explain what happened?
Okay, so in the cases of sentences, like it was easy with the words, but in case of sentences, we would actually need to break down the sentences into different words and then verify with the Google, like if the word is correct or not. But the thing is, Google API is so fast that we don't need to actually break down audio. So when the user speaks the first word, we can just send that word to Google and check if the word is correct or not and mark it. If it's correct, we mark it green and then move on to the next word. So we do one word at a time, and for the entire sentence structure, like if there are 3 words or 4 words in this, we'll just send 4 requests to Google, and it's pretty fast, so we can confidently say the word sentence was right or wrong.
So actually the app is providing different feedbacks. First, the words will be highlighted, red if mispronounced, green if pronounced correctly, and that was based on the confidence level. The confidence level, the average confidence level was the least accepted confidence level to consider the word pronounced correctly, based on my professional judgment as a French teacher. The second feedback that we're providing.
So we have progress bar in the words when we're learning. For example, we will go words. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Is it again?
Oh.
Oh.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. So you can see the new words is jump to the learned word, and actually app allows us to meet this word at least 5 times. So if I'll mispronounce once, it will go back to the new.
The reflection part, as a team, we agreed that the 2 points that Nishant will elaborate on are what we assumed as our reflection points.
So, like, we agree on this that we did not have any knowledge about audio processing, but if we would have better, understanding of how audio processing works, so we could have built something more better on this. Moreover, like the phoneme level recognition of words is something we definitely want to work on. Like, there's ongoing research on this topic, but like we are not familiar with that research for now. But we try to do that. We want to build over it in the future.
So yes, for future work, we will have an app that can actually check pronunciation and check mispronounced syllables in the word. And another feature we would like to add is flexibility for the teacher to add different words or sentences to learn.
Yeah. Okay. And like the other thing is like user can record any speech, and then we can have a word by word or syllable by syllable mispronunciation in the entire speech, which we call the live mode in the beginning, but we will like to work on that in future. Like this is an added functionality. We can just take a picture of the entire book or a text, and it can automatically help us convert that into a challenge for the user. So that's something we want to work on in the future on this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments?
Thanks.
Hey, great work. It seems like you've smoothed a lot of things out and made many more things clear. I think you've really done really well, actually. Well done. Couple quick questions. Not sure which one to ask. Just jumping into the reflection. Here's a meta question, which is a question about a question. What does it mean to reflect?
Basically, just to figure out like were things going good? Yeah. So
You talked about something kind of like what you didn't do in reflection. So,
yeah,
I would have thought your group would have reflected a little bit on the group dynamic question and brought something there. So I reflect back to you that perhaps you should reflect on all of that and how you improved this actually, and the learning that took you there. I think that's important for all of you, frankly. So yes, you didn't reflect here. You talked about something off topic. I followed everything. the demo was really great. Is it robust enough that you could throw other things in it and it really would work, or does it just work for these
Yes,
things?
yes, and it should also work for any language, which like the API supports. And like the thing is, we actually came to know that there's a difference between the specialist. Like she speaks the word and it's correct, and we speak the word is wrong. So we don't know the French language. So it's actually kind of and gives us a good benchmark for speaking the words like the word fee, which means girl. Like I'm not able to still speak it correct. But when she does it, like it's so good. So that tells us like it can be a great tool for a teacher.
Neat. Any comments, questions, suggestions?
I was gonna say, so presumably you two have not done any French before?
No,
This?
no
And
French.
So how did you find it in terms of actually trying to learn some new words? Did you personally find it helpful?
Sometimes when I sleep, I'll remember this sentence. Bonjour, voici le magasin. I'm always checking with the sentence. I was like,
Yeah.
when you're waking up, you can say like voici or voici. Voici was bad. Voici is closer. So yeah, I definitely learned one sentence at least in French.
Yeah, he can actually show the store to everyone in French.
But presumably, I mean, you both have learned at least a second language. So you've learned one language without having a tool like this.
Yeah, but like,
Would you think this would have been helpful?
yeah, definitely. But my second,
I only know English, right? So I've never had to learn for language.
yeah. So like one is my mother tongue, and the second language I learned is from the school, like really early ages, like 4 years. I started learning English, and so if I'm learning English today, it's really difficult for me. But this too might really help. Like, if I'm going to a new country or a new class, this might be helpful.
He was asking, yeah, that's the whole presentation. He was asking,
Yeah.
do you think it's really helpful?
Yeah.
Do you have any, like he's asking for your personal
Yeah.
experience of it? I guess it's hard to separate.
So when I showed that to some of my colleagues at school, they said that interaction part, that the word is turning green or red, or that check mark, is really nice. The kids really love it. That there's some sort of interaction, because you don't get that immediately unless you have the teacher physically in front of you.
Yeah, it's
Are
very cool.
you planning to or would like to do any like research with this?
Some teachers are waiting for that app, and parents as well.
Have to give
But the
the app,
teachers-
please don't give the app.
Some of the kindergarten and grade 1 teachers, they were so happy about it. And, but again, that feedback that we get from the previous presentation, that give the teacher the flexibility to add their own words, that worked really well.
There's no server, this is a standalone app, right?
Yeah.
So there's no server kind of thing. Teachers kind of like server things that they can put stuff in.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's like a future
Future
thing.
Yeah.
Like,
By the way, you made a comment about the somewhat opaque confidence statement. And I would agree that whatever it said, that somebody is 100% or 67%
yeah.
sure about something. What should that actually say?
Well,
To students, what's the right thing to say there?
So here, part of it is the motivation. I'm confident that 60 or 70% of what you're saying is correct. So for younger users, you might not really get the message.
Yeah, so that was what I was agreeing
Yes.
with, and I was asking you, what should it
Yeah,
say?
but at the same time, one of the future work that we would like to do is to report back to parents or teachers. This
Okay,
message.
please listen to my
Okay, yeah.
question. You're answering a different question, which is
Yeah.
also interesting. The question was, for a student, what should it actually say?
For
Can you
me,
show us what it says, by the way?
for me, I would give a star.
Magasin.
Magasin. 77% off.
I would replace the sentence with 4 stars, and then instead of 71%, it would show 3 stars out of 4,
I see.
or 2.5 out of 4. That would be more kid-friendly.
Yeah, that would be kid friendly, but actually, this is more of a binary problem. It's either correct or not correct. Because if like 2 words have a lot of similar pronunciation, then the confidence score is pretty low. So that means like either it's correct or either it's not correct. So if it's like 65%, we can just say it's 1, it's correct. So instead of having stars, I mean like, okay, correct, we got it. That should be more like it.
You're not a teacher.
By the way, you just contradicted each other.
I mean-
You're supposed to be talking about this stuff.
Yeah, that's
so,
my think on it. Like
so you're making that up on the fly. I would go with hers, frankly.
okay.
Although, no, actually, that's actually really interesting. I think you said something in your explanation that said it's not exactly clear what that confidence number means, and it depends on the other possibilities that it
Yeah.
could include. And so
Yeah.
that's a deeply subtle thing
Right.
about the underlying machine versus what you actually want.
Right.
So actually, before you write your final report, I want you to think about that question and write something about it. Because
Right.
I think it's a deep and interesting one. You don't have to do work, but I want you to at least understand each other because you
Yeah.
absolutely contradicted each other just now, and it's kind of important, actually. So, any other comments? Okay, great, thank you.